The fighting and ISIS terrorism has caused hundreds of thousands to flee the country, resulting in a refugee crisis that is overwhelming surrounding nations and even Europe. One of the countries facing an immigration crisis is Sweden. Its leaders wanted to show the world a glorious multicultural future, but that dream was mugged by reality. Sweden is overwhelmed by immigrants, and now some of the country's greatest opponents to the policy are immigrants themselves. Dale Hurd brings us that story from Sweden.
Nima Gholam-Ali-Pour is an immigrant in Sweden. It might not be such a great time to be an immigrant in Sweden. Sweden's notorious open-door policy collapsed after the nation literally ran out of places to house migrants, and a massive crime wave hit asylum centers, with reports of boys raped and an asylum worker murdered. Sweden's immigration policy has been failing for so long that a few years ago this immigrant joined Sweden's anti-immigration party. It says a lot about how badly Sweden's immigration model has run off the rails when an immigrant joins a political party that wants to restrict immigration. Nima says his decision left some Swedes scratching their heads.
They believe that I am confused.
And why would he join a party, the Sweden Democrats, that is regularly branded by the left as a racist party?
It's not a racist party, it's a conservative party. I just chose a party after the program that suited me.
Nima says he's not against immigration per se, just the way Sweden has done it. He came here as a boy from Iran, and today he's a member of the Board of Education in Sweden's third largest city, Malmö, a city which has suffered from immigration. So he's not what you would call a booster for the city of Malmö or for Malmö's troubled schools.
No, they're very bad. The city of Malmö is a very segregated city. So you have areas where a lot of people are unemployed.
He says some schools in bad areas have run out of teachers who speak Swedish.
We use Syrian teachers and teachers from Arab countries or Afghanistan, and they don't speak Swedish.
Nima has a master's degree in international migration and ethnic relations, and he calls Sweden's immigration policy a disaster. He also lives it. He told me he has to wear a hoodie through some Malmö neighborhoods so he doesn't get attacked by immigrant gangs.
I have a hoodie. I usually take a hoodie so no one does anything. You see a group somewhere, and if you live in Malmö, you know that you should avoid them, or else you will get beat up.
It was a trip to the United States that led to his joining a right-wing party. He saw immigration debated openly and honestly in the U.S., something he wasn't seeing in Sweden.
There are a lot of cover-ups about immigration here in Sweden.
The Swedish government and media have long suppressed bad news about immigration. But it all blew up in a major scandal when the public learned that sexual assaults by migrant males against Swedish girls at a summer music festival last year had been covered up. It seems one group that isn't afraid to tell the truth about immigration in Sweden are some of the immigrants, like Swedish economist Tino Sanandaji, who is a Kurd from Iran.
Yeah, immigrants are committing majority of violent crime now. We have reached that point. This is not reported. A lot of people, in fact, the media will go and say this is a myth. And if you believe this, you're a racist.
Or Polish immigrant and Malmö resident Barbara Trusz, who warned us that the future of Malmö would be
hell.
Hell?
Yes.
Sweden has thought of itself as a humanitarian superpower, but Nima Gholam-Ali-Pour says Sweden will not escape the consequences of a reckless immigration policy. He says Swedish society is shattered, and ethnic conflict is coming.
We have a majority of children in schools who speak another language than Swedish. So in a generation, Malmö will become a city where ethnic Swedes are a minority. We have had riots in Malmö before, but I think we will have it in the future.
For his part, Nima has gone back to university to become what Sweden needs more of these days, an elementary school teacher. Dale Hurd, CBN News, in Malmö, Sweden.